Ah, Hawaii. Land of beautiful blue, crystal clear water, beautiful white sand, incredible landscapes, known for its peace and overall attraction. One of the most beautiful places on the earth. I plan on going there one of these days. So how can a movie make one of the most beautiful places on the planet look like Arkansas? That's what we're going to talk about in this episode of Dr. Movie. Welcome back. You can hear the car running, so you know I'm driving down the road. And I'm going to bring you a sweet little review of a movie that's on Tubi that you can check out for yourself for free. Just minus some commercials. You can check out Demon of Paradise from 1987. Yeah. I took a chance on this one because it's one of those I remember seeing the artwork as a kid and always passed up on it. And now I kind of know why. Right? So let's talk about this one. Got a short little synopsis for this one. It says, fishing with dynamite drives a lizard man out of the water to terrorize people in Hawaii. Wow. Again, we keep talking about this Hawaii thing, right? Because it's all based on this resort, and it's supposed to be in Hawaii. But I'm telling you, man, when I was watching this, I was like, I'm no treeologist, but I'm pretty sure there's not any pine trees in Hawaii. So I kept seeing these scenes. I mean, the water was just kind of murky, nasty, typical water. Like I said, looks like he just went down to the river in Mississippi or Arkansas, and I don't think there is a river in Arkansas. Maybe there is. But it just kind of threw me. I was like, this can't be right. Well, come to find out, the movie's made in Cambodia, which explains a lot of things, right? The guy that directed this, Cirio Santiago, also produced Up From the Depths, right? He produced this one as well and directed this one, but Up From the Depths, he was just the producer. So these are like bookend movies that go together, if you want them to go together. But yeah, let's see, not a lot to really talk about as far as people that are in it, that are in anything else. You got Catherine Witt, who really hasn't been in anything it's worth talking about. We got Leslie Scarborough, who's a model in the movie. She hasn't been in much except unless you like Stewardess School. Well, she was in Back to School, so she's got that going for her with Rodney Dangerfield. But Stewardess School, there's you another classic, a year before this one. So there you go. Well, you know what? When I look at this, she was staying pretty busy in the late 80s here. But so what? Let's see. Not really anybody else. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. This is something where a lot of you guys are going to be more versed in actors than I am. They have to be standout people for me to give them kind of recognition, I guess. But we do have a guy that was in Zombie 4, I believe it was. That crazy movie. Now, you want to talk about a crazy movie, which I did early on in the early days of Dr. Movie. So you can go check that out with me and Derek, Big D. We ripped a hole through that one. But was this one as fun as that? Not by a long shot. So this movie's got some problems. On IMDb, it's rated a 3.8 out of 10. I kind of have to agree with that. I don't know if anybody's put this together yet or not. When you watch this movie, I can't be the first, I'm sure. And I haven't really listened to any reviews of this movie either. And but this movie is really just Jaws, but all of the elements in Jaws are just told out of place, right? You know the scene where the two guys are on the dock and it breaks off and they go out in the water and they make it back? You know, that kind of happens in this, except it's an old, local guy in a little small boat. Same thing kind of happens, right? Except he actually doesn't make it out. You got the owner of the site here, the Paradise is what it's called. Not to be confused with, Phantom of the Paradise. But this resort that she's got, and she's just like the mayor, right? She doesn't want to believe any of this is going on. That they just got hurt. It was a boating accident. I mean, everything is there, right? It's just out of sequence. You've got, what else that's Jaws related? Oh, there's a big boat scene, right? So instead of, them shooting the barrels and hooking it up to the boat and pulling the boat, this thing gets under the boat and starts moving the boat around by hand, knocking people out of it. So, I mean, it's just Jaws. Everything about it just screams Jaws. And even the resort owner is trying to make a little money off of this, and because she didn't believe any of it's real, so she does this whole thing where, you invite people on the resort and they play a big game where they're searching for the monster, right? And they got people dressed up and all that kind of stuff. Because you kind of see how that's going to end too, right? This monster's going to show up eventually and start wreaking havoc on everything. People start getting knocked off. Pretty typical stuff. This is not a trailblazer of a movie. It's just kind of a knockoff of Jaws, and they had a sea creature monster, which I'm going to have to talk about it for a little bit because I'm not impressed, right? I'm going to try my best to describe it to you. You may have seen pictures of it, but it really looks like somebody messed up and made a cow costume as far as the face. But it looks like the cow might have had dreadlocks back in the day, but then it got electrocuted and there's just like a few dreadlocks left, and they just said screw it and kept it on their head, but with a cow face, but now has scales on it. I'm trying, folks. The rest of it's a pretty typical monster suit, but it's got like a Godzilla tail. I guess that explains why it can swim so well. I don't know. Still not the worst aquatic creature that I've seen. We'll probably talk about those on another episode coming up pretty soon. But this one doesn't win any awards. And if it does, that must not been much of a reward, but an award, not reward. But yeah, man, this thing's just kind of, it is what it is, right? Didn't really enjoy it. Really don't plan on watching it again. It's paint by numbers. Like I said, if you know Jaws and you keep that in mind when you're watching this, you just see it kind of trot along. You go, oh yeah, I remember that part. Oh yeah, I remember that part. Even at the end when they finally confront the monster and blow it away, I mean, they just throw a bunch of hand grenades at it. Oh, you've even got this scientist lady who's there studying, wildlife, whatever. But obviously she wants to study the creature and happens to have a gun that shoots syringes, just like the spear from Jaws, right? You're going to tag it, and hopefully that'll put it to sleep. And she shoots this thing twice, and both times right in the mouth. And I don't know if it just doesn't really affect it or what, but it's like, you could shoot this thing anywhere else on its body. Why would you shoot it in the mouth when you know that the needle has to go in the skin and this stuff has to be injected? I don't know. But anyways, it just seemed like a good idea, I guess. But yeah, at the end of it, a bunch of military people are around it. They all throw hand grenades at it. All you're missing is somebody saying, "Smile, you son of a..." And you've got the ending of Jaws because it blows up. Kind of like Jaws. And then you see the water. It's standing in front of a waterfall. And you see, like, the blood of it going down, downstream. So it's, very Jaws-like. I don't know, man. Shout Factory has picked it up, put it back out there. It's kind of a weak watch. I guess it's all right for a first-time watch if you're home and you're sick and you got nothing to do. And again, it's free. But if you're into Hawaii being based in Cambodia and a handful of actors and some not so great effects, even the kills in this, I'm like, yeah, pretty weak. So that's my take on this one. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. That may be my lowest rating so far. But these are my kind of movies. But this one just didn't float my boat. And so there you go. That's Demon of Paradise. Watch it if you will. But you've been warned. All right, folks. That's it for this one. Till next time. Sayonara.